My pancakes turned out fine, though.
Oh, really?
Just for the...
So you didn't buy dinner?
I nearly choked on them because they were really dry.
We're your hosts, Tara, Nora, and Allie, and you're listening to Bad Advice Only.
We're just three New York City rats talking about scurrying around the Big Apple. Here, we make the New York City mistakes so you don't have to.
We're begging you. Leave us a review and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We release new episodes every Monday, so stay tuned, rats.
This is the Cash episode, brought to you by Nora and Tara. I was coughing so much today. Rats, the sister rats are sick.
We are so sick. We're down for the count.
It's heinous. I was texting Allie, who, thank God, she's not here today.
Allie's not here.
Allie's not here, rats. We are sad, but it is good because we are German up the studio.
The studio is a disaster zone.
It's a petri dish of just... Because Nora and I have very different symptoms, so we're asking for it by even being near each other.
So I was biking home.
Let's just catch the rats up. When did this happen and what happened to you?
What happened to me is I was biking home from work and I made a quick pit stop. I'm not really sure how to intro this, but to my old apartment.
That's it. That's all you have to say. You have another apartment.
I made a little pit stop to my old apartment and just started projectiling into the toilet there.
Like old days.
Like the old days.
Except
there's no toilet paper or paper towels.
Well, for the listener, this place earned Nora's nickname Tub Tub because she just would only puke in her bathtub instead of the toilet.
I considered it. I was puking in the toilet and I was looking at the tub and I was
like, I missed you, old friend.
I haven't done it in a while. And then I got home and then I puked all night. And then I was fine from a puking standpoint. And then I had the brain fog. What else was wrong with me? Oh, I've got the shits.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
That's new.
No, it's not. You said it's been 4 days.
It's been 4 days, but I just didn't notice. Like, that's how, irrelevant it is to my happiness.
I think this is a sister problem. I don't think this is a normal human problem. I don't think we have any pattern recognition whatsoever. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm just every time I drink milk, I just shit my pants all day, and that's normal.
Yeah, and it never occurred to you that, it was the milk. It never occurred to you that, maybe you're lactose intolerant. You just were like, oh, yeah, this is
just
a
thing that we accept in the world.
I have a lot of those, too.
What's your sickness?
Okay, so my bedroom's closest to the restroom in our apartment, rats. And Nora would just come flying out of her room to vomit, I don't know, every 7 to 8 minutes.
It was so bad.
Allie was boarding her flight. That's why she's gone. She's visiting family in California. And she was just like, what is happening in there? And I was like, well, not to steal Nora's shine, but I'm a little sick, too.
I'm just what? Gagging.
Nora's a very loud vomiter, listener.
I really am. We've never talked about it. I'm such a loud vomiter.
But yeah, I started out with a sore throat, and I thought it was because I celebrated my birthday and my tube tying. So I dabbled in a few things.
Extracurriculars.
Some extracurriculars. So anyways, I had a scratchy throat, so I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. But then the congestion came, and Nora came into my room and was like, why is there a roll of toilet paper in your bed? And rats, it's because we don't buy tissue paper. Toilet paper is the same.
I don't use it. It's for the looks. Guests. It's for guests, but I do have it.
Right.
It's for the aesthetic.
Well, I use toilet paper, and I slept with it so I wouldn't have to get up and blow my nose. So anyways, yeah, I have really bad congestion, sore throat, and pretty fucking tired.
I can't think straight.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about our money. So I found some interesting news articles.
What's the topic, bitch? You have to. This is a podcast. You have to explain what we're talking about today. When we just yell cash into the mic, that's for editing purposes. That's not real.
Cash.
So what are we talking about today?
Money, please.
What about it?
New York money. What is it? Who's got it? And I found this really interesting article. You're going to get annoyed, but if you actually read it, you'd be interested. But I know
every time you bring in an article, you just say like one line from the article, and then at no point do we like discuss it.
Because y'all won't read the goddamn articles ever. I sent Allie.
You have to send a pre-read. You can't just try your best to explain it because you never do.
First of all, this title is More Than Half of Manhattan Homes Are Bought in All Cash Deals.
What?
And it's quickly becoming the standard. Do you believe that?
No, because the Manhattan, first of all, there's no such thing as a Manhattan home. We buy fucking apartments. They're not houses.
Condos or co-ops,
I don't call that a home.
What's our apartment?
Our apartment is a shithole. The second point, there's nothing you can buy in the city under like $2 million. So who has $2 million that they can just cash out?
Russian oligarchs.
I don't really know what buying something cash means when it comes to apartments.
Yeah, they just wire that cash, I thought. Or, I mean, it's not like they're showing up in a fucking briefcase, if that's what you're imagining.
It wasn't. But I'm just saying, like, it's not the most cost-effective way to do it, for sure.
I know. There's a few things in this article that just are bonkers to me. So, one, according to a new analysis, this is from 2024, more than 100,000 New York City real estate deals by the New York Times. Buyers are paying for homes in all cash transactions.
This is for New York, not just everywhere?
New York, which is crazy. So let me highlight something. So first of all, this is what I disagree with. The trend significantly is a result of high mortgage rates which incentivize home buyers to use their savings rather than borrow money in the bank. First of all, listener, if you have over $1 million sitting in savings,
that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Please tell me you're like cashing out some investment, selling some stocks.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
hopefully.
We've really got to work on our words in articles. Like, who's sitting on $1 million in their savings account?
Unless you're like a billionaire, and then comparative, that's actually reasonable.
Right, but they're also not buying $1 million home,
right.
Billionaires. Can you guess the lowest and highest selling listing in New York for cash? That's the
highest and lowest?
So guess the lowest.
Well,
you said $1 million.
Like this year or like ever? What?
This year.
Okay, this year. I think the lowest, I'll be real. I think you could buy something in like the Bronx for like 500,000.
You and Allie, like y'all have such an obnoxious
we don't like the Bronx
mentality of like different boroughs and also just
the Bronx
areas. Yeah, it's just the Bronx.
It's about the Bronx.
The Bronx is
clear.
Fine. First of all, this was in Manhattan.
The Bronx, I guess, isn't Manhattan technically.
Correct.
I was just thinking way uptown.
You're thinking Harlem.
Yeah, Harlem. So how much?
Okay, lowest cash closing in Manhattan. It was for $250,000. The studio.
But where was it? Was it in Harlem?
It just says Manhattan.
But it was definitely Harlem, let's be real.
Relax. It's not unheard of to spend. Okay, anyways.
No, this is the most misleading number you could have said because that's outrageous. Like, you cannot buy a $250,000 studio. That's crazy.
I'm sure
that
it was
does not
exist. Shithole.
That must have been such a shit apartment.
It probably doesn't have a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of studios. Okay, guess the highest, again, all cash.
Probably like 20 million.
Interesting. It was $10 million for a 4-bedroom duplex.
4 bedrooms, $10 million. You hearing that, rats?
2 floors duplex.
That's why we're rats.
We're rats. Okay. So obviously these rats are not buying any apartments in New York City anytime soon. However, the rats are doing okay.
We do okay.
We're doing okay. Some could argue we're thriving.
I think we're
at
doing
this
good.
point. Yeah. You think we're doing good? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being... You think we're a 10 in New York City?
I think in New York City we're not a 10 because 1 in 16 New Yorkers is a millionaire. So I wouldn't say... I'm not going to say we're thriving by New York standards, but by average America, we're thriving.
Okay. Why I want to talk about money today is because I think Nora and I especially, Allie in some areas... We've ratted too hard, listener.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
We've ratted too hard. Now that we have a little bit of money in our little rat's nest, we don't know how to spend it.
Correct.
We're terrified.
I hate spending money. I'm so bad at it.
Nora has this obnoxious script, and I probably have the same script of, well, I just don't need it.
Yeah. So Tara and I, just to give y'all a little context, Tara and I have one, we call it the first date dress, and it's one dress that we both have been wearing on first dates for the last
2 years.
2 years.
I bought it pre-COVID, listener.
We also have one purse, which we share. And if one of us needs the purse, you have to go get the purse.
Yeah.
It's the only one we own. And that purse it was a graduation present.
Yep.
In 2013.
We
from
each
our
got
sister-in-law.
one. I sold mine.
You sold it. It's also like a Kate Spade that's literally a decade old. Like, it's not like a fucking Prada. Other rat items, the backpack I carry to work every single day of my life. It's completely ruined. There's like a huge...
We'll post a picture.
I'll post a picture. There's multiple holes. It looks like things would fall out, but they don't, bizarrely. But I got it on Amazon about 6 years ago for $20, and I still use it every day.
And the only reason that I bought a new backpack, which I don't even know where it went at this point because now I'm stealing our brother's. The only reason I got a new backpack, mine was Dora the Explorer. It was a Jane Sport that I've had since high school.
It's called Jan Sport.
Oh, is it Jan Sport? Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How long you been saying that wrong?
I don't know. Decades now. I've had it since high school. But our sister-in-law vomited in it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I had to get rid of it. But she gave me money to buy a new one, and
You took her money? You
yeah,
bitch.
I was a rat back when she did this. I couldn't afford a new
rude
backpack.
of you. Your family.
Dude, not back then. This bitch, I was ratting hard back then. So yeah, I want to go back to our first date dress. Nora had a fucking meltdown last night, listener. and then it riled me up to then have a meltdown. I was doing fine. I'm reading some dragon pornography smut book.
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship. I'm in bed by 7 p.m. reading
about
my
dragon.
smut.
Flicking the bean to dragon
Flicking the
sex.
bean to dragon sex.
What's the book? Give it a shout out. Because people are reading it, whatever this shit is. Fourth Wing?
Fourth Wing.
Fourth Wing for all our sexy nerds out there.
Yeah, listener, I can't have sex right now after my procedure, so I gotta get something. So yeah, Nora's trying to get ready for a first date, and the temperatures are changing. It's fall now, and our first date dress is purely meant for the summer.
It's really a summer first date
It's a very
dress.
nice summer first date dress. But Nora has a fucking bitch fit and is like, I only have one first date dress and it's yours.
Yeah.
And it really hit home because I don't have any shoes right now.
Right. Because you threw out all your shit shoes.
I purged all of my shit shoes. But luckily, like, I'm good for the winter time. All of my boots are coming out now, so I'm good until next, I don't know, summer. So I don't really have to worry about shoes.
Yeah, I also have these first date shoes, which are absolutely falling apart.
We're posting a picture of that.
They're like these strappy little things, and the backs are like just completely divided, and there's like strings that hang onto my heel.
It looks like the strings are meant to like lace up her calves, but it's just it's stringing off the fake leather of the straps.
And no man has ever said anything. They
I'm
don't
shocked
give a
by
fuck.
this.
They do not give a fuck.
Has any of them ever taken your shoes off for you?
No, I would never. I hide them in their homes. Like when I go home with a guy with those shoes on, I put them so in the corner so they won't even go near them.
In a cabinet.
Because I'm they're gonna think I'm homeless if they see the shoes I wore here.
They're gonna think you're homeless for a lot of reasons.
The funniest part about those shoes is they're literally from Marshall's. I got them from Marshall's in 2021. And I've been wearing them ever since. I had another money trauma thought. Oh, I just remembered.
Was it about what I cooked last night?
Oh my God. All good. Let's start there. So as I'm having a meltdown about this first date dress.
She riled me up, listener.
And I'm it's cold now. I can't wear first date dress, and I do not own another, literally not another dress that's reasonable for a first date.
Maybe we should take a picture of your closet.
I'm too embarrassed. I don't embarrass easily, listener. But Tara is like, meanwhile, in the kitchen, and she's like trying to make pancakes, and she's just got this like ball of dough, and she's like, is this what pancake mix is supposed to look like? And I'm like, no, why didn't you measure anything? And she's like, I couldn't because we're out of pancake mix. So I just poured what was left from the box. And I'm like, just why are you having this bullshit? Like, I'm talking no fruits, no accoutrement, just plain pancake. And I'm like, why don't you just go buy dinner? And she's like, I don't have any money till payday, which is tomorrow, thank God. But she does have money. She makes plenty of money, listeners. She makes over 6 figures.
I'm rich.
She just has money trauma.
Money trauma. But we don't have childhood money trauma, and I do want us to...
And yet we do.
Why? Why? We have to explore this.
I don't know, but my money trauma story was the fact that for the last year and a half, I haven't owned a phone charger.
Oh my
Literally
God,
for a year and a half.
And then she lost mine to her stupid ex-boyfriend. Charger's gone, which is why we have piece of shit's charger.
Well,
that's why I labeled it.
The point is that I didn't have a charger for a year and a half. For a year and a half of my life, I borrowed Tara's charger or charged my phone at work. Anytime I went on a trip, I didn't have a charger. I just hoped someone had one.
Yep.
I don't charge my phone most nights. Finally, I was just like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy a charger. So you know what I did? I went to Apple. I bought 2. You know how much they were? They were literally like under $60. And I've been living like this for a year and a half.
Okay. What would you have rather spend that $60 on? Tell me that.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't need it. I'm like, well, obviously I'm surviving without it. Like, what do I want to charge? What do I want? A charged phone at all times? Like, that just seems crazy.
Okay, as the one that owns the charger, well, it got lost at some point. An ex-boyfriend stole it or something. I can't remember what happened to our charger. My charger. God damn it, Nora. So piece of shit lent me one of his, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be like a grubby rat and steal it. I'm going to go and buy my own eventually. So I labeled his with his name on it.
Because we are the proud owners of a label maker.
We are the proud owners. We can afford a label maker.
I use that label maker all the time.
I love it. So I labeled it so that I have to stare at it. I have to look it in its eye every day and say, I have taken this from a man I've been sleeping with. It was before he was even my boyfriend. So I was like, I have to give this back. I was shaming myself, like, you're going to go buy a phone charger. You're going to do it. And then you're going to proudly give it back to him and show your worth. Show that you're responsible. You can handle it. You can buy a charger. You're a big girl. I still have it.
That,
we're still proud owners of it.
But now we're rich with chargers because I bought 2.
Rich. We have 3
now they're
chargers.
Everywhere. It's amazing.
Well, one's going to fall out of Nora's backpack because it's got a hole in it.
Yeah, that is true.
A guy, no romantic ties. It was that guy that would tag along to our that football game and stuff with me, remember? He was like an accountant.
Yep.
He gifted me for my birthday one year AirPods. And he was like, before you freak out, they're my old ones. I bought myself new ones because that's what adults do. They can buy themselves new AirPods. So here are my old ones. And he took them into the store. They professionally cleaned them and they reprogrammed them. So they said, Tara's AirPods.
Meanwhile, I'd like the listener to know that our junk drawer in the kitchen has about 5 pairs of stolen AirPods because I have never purchased AirPods until very recently.
Oh.
I just went in my Apple meltdown. I bought AirPods, but I had never bought any because I always got them in the exact same way. Someone would just give them to me, or I found some on the street, they were.
Remember, we found them when we went to on the sailboat.
Yeah, I found them on the street in like fucking Harlem.
Yeah.
And
it was Harlem.
They're called, like, you know, when you hook it up, it shows you whose they are. It said Denisha's. So I had Denisha's AirPods for literally, like, years.
Did you use them?
Yeah, I used them every day.
Oh, nice.
And then after that, I got hand-me-downs from an ex-boyfriend. Like, I literally have never, I'm just like,
okay,
why would I buy that?
So,
I obviously don't need it.
Okay, so that leaves me with a few questions, sister.
Therapy time.
It's therapy time,
I'm not ready. That's on Mondays.
I know you quit therapy.
No, I didn't. I just skipped one session. I didn't quit, but I should quit. I think I'm good.
Anyways, okay. I've never thought about this until just hearing you say how we just get all these hand-me-downs and are just given things. Mm-hmm. Are we our friend's charity case?
Yes.
And have we always been?
Yes. You know, in high school, this is...
So for a background listener, Nora went to a really prestigious, she was Rory Gilmore.
I was Rory Gilmore.
She was the poor kid at the rich kids school.
I had promise, listener, so I went to the rich kid school.
Right.
This isn't a rich kid thing, though.
Oh.
One time when we were kids, I don't think the story is going to land as funny as it is in my head, but when we were kids, one time my mom got really mad at us and said she wouldn't buy us any soap anymore. So I called my friends to tell them that I was no longer allowed soap in my household. So my friends all banded together and brought me their just dregs of soap.
Not even new bottles.
Nope, just like the dregs they had lying around the house. So I just brought home about 15 bottles of like half-used shampoo, and I was like, that's right, bitch. I don't need you to buy my fucking soap. This is real.
Oh, I'm so glad Allie isn't here. She would be just like, this is childhood trauma. But as your sister, yeah, that happened to me too. And I remember the opposite. Like, I wasn't like Harry Potter and like wrote to my friends to send food via owl. But you and I went to HEB, the grocery store in Texas. And we were like, okay, what's the absolute cheapest? We got the VO5 or whatever, the cheapest possible shampoo and conditioner. And we were like, suck it, Mom. We know what to do.
Now.
We can handle this. Okay, Nora and I are trying to go back in time and try to maybe understand where like our weirdness with money and spending comes from, because we didn't have like a super frugal childhood where like our parents were cutting coupons. We weren't going
Mom
to like
did cut coupons at one
what?
point. Yeah, I remember.
Were we in
that.
trouble?
No, I just remember, like, when we were pretty young, I remember her being a coupon cutter.
I think that was more of, like, a cultural thing, like, all the moms
Suburban
on the
moms.
block. Yeah, suburban moms.
Maybe. We weren't poor, listener. That's the point.
But we always felt poor.
That's what I'm saying. That's the money. That's the trauma.
Yeah, but they definitely put their money in places that like we as children couldn't appreciate or see. We all started working. We all had like little part-time jobs in high school and college. Not because we needed to. It was just something that
what are you talking about? I ate dinner every night at like Taco Bell with the money from the job.
Because there was no dinner at home?
There was not dinner served in our home.
Oh,
what the? Do you not? Oh, are you just remembering, Tara? Are you just remembering? Does that seem odd now that we're talking about it live? That there was no dinner served in our home?
For a period of time, we got dinners. One of my best friends is a therapist, and she listens to our episodes every week. Shout out, Nat. Help us. Okay, wait, I'm getting hot. I gotta take off my sweatshirt.
Tara's nervous from the therapy session. The childhood trauma.
It was more of like we had food. They were just like, fuck you guys. We don't want to feed you.
Right.
Figure it out.
So my high school job went to my dinners.
Mine? I don't know. I think, I guess the same. I don't know. Fuck. Okay, well, anyways, listener. But, okay, we never got, like, a penny saved is a penny earned type of, like...
I don't remember any discussion about money.
Yeah, we were talking about it this morning. If we went shopping with our mom for back-to-school clothes,
that's true.
I remember getting really anxious if, like, we spent, in my head, too much money.
Yeah, same.
And when they'd ring us up... Our mom, and also, this is so crazy to think about, she had so many, like, store credit cards. We got to ask her about this. She had so many store credit cards, which, listener, don't do
that.
Don't. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, they always paid it off, I assume, but still kind of weird. But anyways, she'd whip out one of the credit cards, and then she'd write a check for other stuff, and I'd be so panicked, and she would always say...
We did so good. Good job.
Good job, girls. We did so good.
Buy stuff.
And I didn't know if it was like trying to calm my nerves of being like, oh my gosh, we spent too much money. I don't understand it. Her old saying was, you got to shop all day and then you stop at this shoe store and try on pairs of shoes. And if you find a pair of shoes you like, you buy it. it in every color.
In every color. That's true. She did used to say that.
Yes, she expressed indulgence.
Yeah.
She
and yet,
encouraged
when
indulgence.
I was a kid, I used to sneak dollar bills into Mom's nightstand. So why would I do that?
Care to expand on that one?
No, I don't have any other explanation. I don't know.
You would sneak into our parents' bedroom.
Yeah, and leave money.
Allie's gonna freak out when she hears this episode.
I told Dad that once, like way later, like in like college,
what
and
did
he was
say?
like, "Yeah, we noticed."
They just kept it.
I never followed up. I was like, "Oh."
Guys, listener, I don't know where this
Therapists
episode is taking
DM us. Help.
But yeah, I don't understand because I thought our childhood was, not normal. Fuck. Okay, so anyways, now we can't spend money in New York. Now that we
don't know how to spend
we
money.
don't know how to spend it. We don't subscribe to like, I don't know, new
material
stuff.
Yeah.
Nora went through one little phase of buying in-style jeans that I was never a fan of.
You're talking about when I bought 3 pairs of jeans one time 4 years ago?
It was 3 years ago.
I remember exactly how much money I spent. I spent $300.
They were all heinous.
I still have them all. Yeah.
It's that Gen Z style I hate so much.
Yeah,
listener.
I'm just trying to look young. I gotta buy new socks apparently. You heard about that? We're old because of our socks.
I'm not getting high socks. Do you know how much time and energy it took to find the right, perfect pull down over the heel so it didn't show, but didn't scrunch and fall off my foot
all
in
my
the
socks
shoe?
Scrunch and fall off my feet. It's because I've had all these socks for over 10 years.
Do you still have the socks with llamas on them?
Yeah.
Okay. Listener, that llama sock reference was a Christmas gift from pre-COVID.
That's like most of my socks.
Fuck. The gift was from our mother.
No, that's on my list to buy socks.
Okay, let's talk about your wish list. Do you have it written down?
No, but I do have it in my mind.
Okay, let's go over it. What do you want to buy?
Socks. I want socks.
What kind?
White socks, because my socks right now, listener, I'm wearing with my white Air Force Ones are black, so you can't really do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
I'd like more than one first date outfit. I would like a purse.
Let's be Ramit Sethi. Let's get your rich life.
Listener,
don't just say purse. Tell me about this purse.
Ramit is our favorite podcaster. Shout out Ramit.
He would be
He would hate us.
upset with our
He's
lifestyle
a financial
choices.
guy, and he believes in living your rich life, which Tara and I are not currently.
Mm-hmm. My pancakes turned out fine, though.
Oh, really?
Just for the...
So you didn't buy dinner?
I nearly choked on them because they were really dry. Because I covered them in peanut butter and...
Right.
Not even syrup.
Because we didn't have any syrup.
No, we have some. I just can't open it. It's that glass bottle we can't get into.
Yeah, it's really hard to open. We could just throw it out and buy new syrup. That's probably what someone would do if they didn't have money trauma.
Okay, we really need Ramit because I don't understand why we have money trauma. I know you mentioned some things about not getting meals as children. But that doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
Does it add up to you?
We had money. There was definitely money.
Yeah, you went to the rich kid school.
I went to a rich kid school. That cost money.
Okay. So, back to your wish list. So, you need a purse.
Yep.
You need a backpack. You need socks.
Right. Imagine, it sounds like I'm a middle schooler.
Yeah, we're trying to get your back to school / birthday wish list together.
Right.
Do you need
hair ties? I have been hanging on to one broken hair tie for months.
I threw up on it.
Why?
It was when I was going through my surgery recovery.
What do you mean you threw up on it?
I threw up on it. Don't worry about it. I washed it. I'm sorry.
This is my only hair tie.
I washed it.
Anyway, a pack of hair ties is probably about $5. So
I don't think it's even that much money.
I haven't bought it in a long time. We would like a list of items that an adult should own. Other thing, we don't have wine opener. That's come up a few times in our life.
We don't have wine glasses.
We don't have wine glasses. We have never gotten wine
listener,
glasses.
I wish we had our podcast when Nora and I moved in together.
Oh, my God.
Because watching the two rats try to make a rat nest home was heinous.
We just lived in our living room for 3 months with
Nora's
one
room
air
doesn't
mattress.
have a radiator. Nora's room doesn't have a radiator.
And it was winter, so
And it was
that room was
February.
just unusable.
An ice box. We call it the air conditioning room.
When we're hot, we open the door and we
to
turn
cool down.
on the
It's so
air
nice.
conditioning.
But yeah, we lived off of an air mattress, and then I finally was like, I can't live like this anymore. So we bought 2 bar stools, and then maybe a month and a half goes by, and I finally got a bed. So then Nora and I moved to my bed, and Nora, I think, slept with me for
like
6 months.
Yeah,
until
we
she
just
got a
didn't
bed.
use a whole room in our apartment because I didn't want to buy a bed.
And Ramit would say we're just wasting money on our home.
On the room we did use it for the air conditioning
and it was our
for the
trash room for a while with just boxes. What are you supposed to do? You want to be a mom, Nora. You figure it out and tell me what to do.
I have time to figure it out. My eggs are unfertilized.
What?
Speaking of which, boys, if you're over 6'5", preferably Asian, but any race will do, but tall, college educated, abs, I'm looking for your sperm, and I'm willing to pay one night with me. Well, this was a not funny episode.
I think it's pretty funny.
We really needed Allie here
to balance us out.
To react.
I think the listener can react all on their own. All right, listener. So Nora and I, our original goal was to talk about New York finances. Somehow we trauma dumped on you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Don't tell our mom.
Don't tell our mom, please. She doesn't know about this podcast. We're in our 30s.
Bye, rats.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're interested in even more bad advice, scurry on over to Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We're begging you. Download and rate the show and leave us a review. Talk to you next Monday.
Stay tuned, rats.